when Mickey Factz do a record like Rafe, is that yo, I'm inspired, let me, or does that take a couple days to construct?
No, that took a day.
Okay, wow.
That was a day.
Wow.
Maybe less.
Okay.
The time is a little iffy because we had that live Thursday night
Mm-hmm.
and all Friday during the day and a little bit of Saturday. You know, I put that thing together. I think when I went to sleep, Saturday in the morning, it was pretty much done. And then after that, I was just editing it, making sure it was tight.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it took a day.
This is the A1 Live show. I got a MC, dope MC, established artist. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know his name, then you probably not on this planet right now. I got the boy Mickey Factz on the A1 Live show with me. What up, Beez?
What's up,
It's
y'all?
Mickey. You feel me? First of all, before we get into the due diligence and all that, man, how was your summer, man? I know it's been busy. I know because I follow you. Not just as a like in a stalker sense, but just as a fan of your work and a fan of your craft. You know what I'm saying? So I see you've been busy, bruh.
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of work over the past month now. Just a lot of music been coming out. A lot of turmoil and drama
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's touch on some of that a little bit. You recently dropped Rafe, right?
yes.
A record that I believe will go down in history as one of the best diss records. One of I still got my list. Yeah, everybody got their different lists. You know what I'm saying? But I will put that. This just me, and they can fight me on it in the comments. This gonna go down as one of the ones. You feel me? That they're gonna be talking about. When we ain't moving around no more, we gone. We in the dust. They still gonna be talking about that Rafe when Mickey Factz went in. Can you and I'm pretty sure you expound on this a lot, but it's still misconceptions. Can you tap on like what spawned that?
Yeah. I it was more like, it was a call to action. That's how I like to.
Because some people on the outside looking in, we messy. That we living in the world of, you know what I'm saying? We living in the world of social media. We living in the world of clicks, likes, clickbaits and all of that. And some people would be like, oh, well, is it really beef? Is it really beef in the streets? Like kill some of these misconceptions. That was it just beef on wax? What's going on?
Yeah, man, it's just, friendly sparring, that's it. It wasn't no beef. It's no beef in the streets. If I see Royce, is love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have any animosity towards him. I think, what happened. People kind of tried to make it bigger than what it was, and it's just we had a public spat. You know what I'm saying?
So where did it spawn from? Was it something that I heard that it started all the way from RJ Payne? Like what was the nucleus of it? Like how did it become to where, okay, Mickey Factz putting out Rafe? Like, you follow what I'm saying?
Right.
I know Royce said your name. I know he said a couple other names, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he said Lupe and my name in a record, Silence of the Lambda, which is a crazy beautiful record.
Yeah.
And then and then Lupe responded. And then me and him got on live, and me and Royce got on live, and we was talking about the record and talking about checking boxes and things like that. And
3 Letterman and all that. Shout out to him.
Yeah, and then we had a discussion about we had a talk about I asked him about a specific line he had in his song, and was that directed towards me? He said when he wrote it, it wasn't, but now it is, so I could take it and wear it and respond intentionally. So I decided at that point that I had to make a decision, and the decision that I made was to put out Wraith and do Wraith.
Yeah.
That's what
Now, the process of doing that, is that just like when Mickey Factz do a record like Rafe? Is that, yo, I'm inspired, let me, or does that take a couple days to construct?
No, that took a day.
Okay, wow.
That was a day,
Wow.
maybe less.
Okay.
The time is a little iffy because we had that live Thursday night
Mm-hmm.
and all Friday during the day and a little bit of Saturday. You know, I put that thing together. I think when I went to sleep, Saturday in the morning, it was pretty much done. And then after that, I was just editing it, making sure it was tight.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it took a day.
Okay. When it came out, when the record come out, social media in a frenzy, YouTube, everybody that got a blog talking about it, like, you feel me, is
Yeah.
damn near on the view. Like, were you looking for a reaction, or were you like, I don't care about the reaction. This is how I feel right now. Were you looking to for that reception that you were getting, or you was like, I don't give a f if y'all rocking with it or not. I got something to say real quick.
I didn't expect people to react to it the way that they did. I didn't
Okay.
expect reactors to react to it. Um, I just wanted. I really did that for my support system and my fan base because they was riding with me and was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
Mick,
Yeah.
we with you. We
Yeah.
feel you." I did that for them, bro, and then it just kind of it kind of exploded into something.
Yeah. It grew legs.
It grew legs and it ran. But that, I did it for him to hear, and I did it for my fans. That's who I did it for.
Hey man, we appreciate it. You feel me? Because, like, it's something like it. Like, just like, we can go through all of this records, whether it's Takeover, whether it's even a couple diss records that Drake and Meek was going back and forth. Like, it's something about that just sparks the community, where we in our rooms with the pen and pad, we want to write now. Like, you feel me? I love when it's that energy, and especially when it's positive energy. It's just, this just don't wax. We love that energy because now it's like, okay, it's time for me to come back outside. It's time for me to, you feel what I'm saying? It's time for other MCs. Another MC gonna feel like it's time for him to step his game up.
Right, right, right. And I agree. I mean, I didn't realize it was gonna happen in the culture with that. I just wanted to speak my piece, and I believe I did so. And
Yeah.
message was sent, and we are where we are. You know,
If he came back with it, or let's say anyone, if he came, Royce don't really do like back and forth. Like, Royce, like, he one of them another one of them type of guys that he won and done. This ain't the old Royce. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is new Royce. So if he respond, he kind of like one and done. I said what I said. If he had it came back, because that's a response that record you put out is a response that's enough to be like, yo, all right, let me load up one more. But even if he didn't, let's say Crook came out, would you had a went back and forth, or were you one and done? Was Mickey one and done? I said what I said. I ain't got nothing else to say. Let me move on.
I mean, I was expecting Royce to respond.
Okay.
I think he'll respond later on.
Okay.
As far as other MCs, I have a respect and love for all MCs. So, if Crook, were to say my name, I don't think he's gonna jump in at all, though. Like, I think he understands that it's not his name wasn't mentioned.
Okay.
So I don't think he'll jump in. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like, but I think for MCs, right? Like, if an MC says another MC's name in a disparaging manner, like, I think anybody would just kind of respond in the way that they.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think Crook is at that place where he would say my name and jump out and say something to me.
Mhm.
Um, just a high level of respect for him and I. So I don't think that would happen. But my thing is, if anybody, comes out and says my name, I will respond. It doesn't matter if it's Crook or Jay-Z or Nas, whoever. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm from the Bronx. So that's what we do,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Well, moving along, bro. That's the Ray file. It's like you put Ray file. That's why I say from the outside looking in, it was like, yeah, I did that. Now I'm moving on because now I'm working on narrative. I'm working on pushing that out, right?
Yeah, the narrative.
Blue, Mickey Factz, Knots. Like, talk about the creation of that. Talk about the mindset of narrative. We waiting. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You link back up with Asher. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Fire Tracks Roll Up is one of my, Roll Up is one of them ones I've been playing, back and forth. Even when I'm just, around the house with my little mama, I got my headphones in. I don't want to let her hear too much, but
Yeah. We try to do as much positive music as possible, but we created the narrative during the pandemic. It really started from our tour in 2018 where we were discussing doing a project together, and it was one of those scenarios where we were both receptive to it. We reached out to Knots and he was receptive to it, and then we decided to put this thing together during the pandemic. Once we got the beats, we started to write these ill rhymes and concepts and songs, and it started to blossom, and it was a beautiful scenario and situation, right? When you consider, two MCs from the Double XL freshman cover and a Grammy Award winning producer with Knots, coming together and creating this beautiful masterpiece, and I'm just excited for people to hear this whole project.
Absolutely, and I'm pretty sure visuals is coming with that. We can expect.
Yeah. The Rain visual is out with me and Asher and Blue. That's out currently right now. Stay Down will be dropping on BT Jams on Monday, so tune into that, and then it'll be on YouTube right after. And then a couple weeks after that, we'll have Roll Up drop, and then we'll have some animated videos dropping as well.
Okay. And you brung up the Rain video. You brung up the record with you and Asher Rain. Talk about linking back up with your your freshman cover attendee, and talk about linking up with that. How that felt getting back in the studio with him and just having that camaraderie again.
Yeah, man, linking up with Asher was amazing. It was, first of all, I hadn't seen Asher in about 11 years. So, and, we've been speaking back and forth trying to get a song done. It's just been a little hectic for us to make it happen. But he was very receptive and giving us a verse. The verse was immaculate. And then, we asked him to do the video, and we'll do it in Miami. So we all flew to Miami. We did Drink Champs.
Yeah.
We shot the video right after, and it was just a beautiful camaraderie between people who kind of helped shift the culture in 2008 2009, and it was just amazing, and it was great to kind of interact with Asher again because it's been so long, and I'm on his Greenhouse Effect Volume 3 out in I think 2 weeks, so I'm on that, so it's just been great to just kind of reconnect with guys who I admire and respect so much.
Can we see a full length project of you and Asher, a full length EP maybe in the future, or
I'm
you
not
never know?
I'm not against working with anybody. I would love to do something with Asher. There's been talks, like, people have been saying me, Asher, and Blue should do a project with Knots. So that's a conversation that potentially, might turn into a reality. I'm not opposed to that. I would love to do something with those guys. All three of us are talented MCs who have a fond respect for each other. So that would be something that I would entertain in the future. We'll have to see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Keeping in the same, narrative talk. I see you got the narrative challenge. Explain that to the viewers that might see that, don't know what it is, and might want to get in on that challenge. You know what I'm saying? They might think they got what it takes. Explain the narrative challenge a little bit for me.
Yeah, the narrative challenge is something that was created by the Get Bars app. So all you MCs out there, there's an app for iOS called Get Bars, or I think it may just be Bars, and it's owned by Facebook and Instagram. And they reached out to me to help promote the narrative because I've been a supporter of their app in the very early stages, in the beta stages. And they were like, yo, man, let's collaborate and try to put something together in collaboration with your project, the narrative. And, they have this cipher kind of portion on their app where we can kind of just rap back and forth. And I was like, think that'll be really ill for me to kind of do that with, these MCs that are in this community. So we started to kind of promote that really well on that site and on that app. And then, we bring it over to Instagram to get my followers and supporters who are fans of hip hop to join that particular app. And it's going really well. We got over like 100 submissions. It's only,
Wow.
if guys want to just jump on and rap, do it, man. Let's do it. I'm picking the best ones and we're going to have a great time with that.
Speaking of that, speaking of picking the best ones and having a great time, you know how a lot of artists are doing that tag your favorite artist thing now, right? Is that something that you would do? Is that something that you would, tag your favorite artist? I might jump in your DM. I might hook up a. Is that something that Mickey Factz might do?
Um,
Cause you never know. It's a lot of guys out there that would just love to just get an 8 from Mick. You feel facts.
I tell everybody, my DMs are open for everybody. And I speak to upcoming artists all the time about, working. So, my advice is just reach out. You never know what can happen and how we can kind of collaborate and make some great art. Like, just hit me.
And I'm pretty sure the energy got to be right. You know what I mean?
Definitely got to be right. And most times it is right. So just pull up.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just come in BSing, my mans. You feel me? Come with the right energy. Come talking with that business talking, and you never know what you might see. You never know the reception you might get. You feel me?
Right.
For real, man. I saw somewhere where you said your dad would rap to you when you was in your mom's womb.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2009, you on a freshman cover. In between there, was your heart strictly devoted to music, or did you have other aspirations?
I think I had aspirations due to my parents' dreams. Like, they wanted me to be an accountant. They wanted me to be an attorney. I think, the generation before ours they wanted their children to be pillars in the community and in business. And, as technology shifts and changes and information is given out there like that, right? Like, things change and people are no longer bound to what societal norms are when it comes to careers. So, I decided that I wanted to be an MC and go real hard with it. And it happened to work. But even after that, right, there are people that are becoming very wealthy and rich off of, investments or tech, and not having to go to school to do these things, right? Obviously, society still has to continue to move. We're still going to need people going to college to become worker bees and do things, but not everybody has to follow that norm. And I think that's what I try to push. You don't have to do everything the way they tell you have to do it. There are many ways and many roads and many paths to get to your end goal.
Especially if you got that mindset and drive. And we not saying don't go to school, but then just be out here just bumming it out. Like, have a plan, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you still had a plan. You still had you know what I'm saying? Like a vision board, if you will, even if it was just mentally, you still had, you know what I'm saying? You still, you you follow what I'm saying? So it was still a plan in play. You wasn't just out here just freestyling it. No pun.
Right. Everything has a plan to it. I wanted to make sure that I do everything at a top level, and it out properly. So, things can go the way they're supposed to go.
Facts, man. Speaking of the freshman cover, you had the likes of Charles Hamilton. Shout out to him. Wale, Asher Roth, Kid Cudi, B.O.B., Ace, Corey Guns, Currency, and again, Blue. Shout out to Blue. All-star lineup, bro. Then you fast forward to like some of the freshman covers you see today, and I gotta, say that this is no slight to nobody, right? This is no slight to nobody. I just got my own personal taste. Do you think the look they going for now is more driven towards popularity than it is skill? What's your and again, this is no slight to nobody. Get your bag and do what you got to do, but you know what I'm saying? From then until now, what's your take on how they look at who they pick and choose for the cover?
Well, I think Double XL, when it comes to the freshman cover, are always looking to the youth and seeing what the people and the youth are liking. Obviously, popularity means a lot. When we were on that cover, we were popular on the internet. So it's just that we also, was coming off of like a high quality mixtape era where the DJs and the rappers were there. And we just kind of took from them and did it in our own way and went online with it and caused a ruckus, what I'm saying, for a lot of the culture. And what we did, we were popular and we were talented. I think, and we were doing it for the youth. We were doing it for the kids in college, the kids in high school. And, the older MCs didn't really, some of them took to us, but others didn't, because of how we
I
dressed.
can't imagine that though, cause like when these names I'm naming, like these MCs, like you know what I'm saying? This ain't.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's look at it, right? Like Wale, great MC. B.O.B. was at the time, like he was like, they were
The artists of all artists at the time, like you.
yeah, they were saying he was like the next Andre, right? Like Asher, incredible. Charles, incredible. Me, Blue, incredible MC. Corey. These were, I got the poster on my wall. That's why I keep looking up. Currency, excellent MC.
And not only just MCs, dope writers. Like the pen game is just, you know what I'm saying?
All of our pens was top tier. The father of the singing rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the king of that. I'm the king of the entendre. Blue is the king of the poets. Currency, the king of the smokers.
Yeah.
King of the flows. Asa was the king of the flows. Charles was the king of the producing and concepts and rapping, and Asher was just the king of the colleges.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
And Corey was like, you couldn't out rap.
Corey was Corey. Yeah.
Wale was, he was the leader of the pack. So it was like, we were the greats, and I think a lot of people recognize that now when you look back, like, wow, these guys did that.
Yeah. As an artist who, you've been signed, you've worked with some of the coldest producers out there, you've been on records with the elite of the pens. How does Mickey find happiness, even as it goes, even if you go through your ups and downs, like whether it's music or whether it's not music, how do Mickey still find his happiness, in life?
Oh, my family,
okay.
makes me happy, man. My wife and my son, they are the reason why I get up every morning and work as hard as I do, to make sure that they're taken care of. I think as men, we need something to push us even more, to make us feel like there's purpose in our lives. And my family gives me purpose to be a better MC, to be a better father and husband, and a better human being. And I think I accomplish that every single time I step into the booth. That's what keeps me going.
And just to elaborate on that a little bit more, because even I was listening to your episode on Drink Champs where you was talking about anxiety and you was talking about these different things that us as men, especially in our community, we don't talk about or we don't express or we don't put out on the forefront. Why do you think that is, and can you expound on that a little bit?
I think hip hop is a very masculine culture. It's driven by masculinity, and you have to be the toughest. You got to be the flyest. You got to be the dude that all the women want. And all
we bulletproof.
You can't penetrate it. But I feel like, as we grow older in hip hop and as human beings, we start to realize that we are human beings and we have emotions. And me giving my brothers their flowers at that time, and then just it was overwhelming. A lot of it obviously had to do with, somebody made a great point about this, right? Like they were saying Mickey encapsulated what a drunk night is with your homeboys. We drunk, you start telling stories, you start freestyling, and then next thing you know, yo man, I love you, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what happens. And I did that off of a wild bottle of alcohol, you know what I'm saying? And that brought out the true shit, right? So I feel like,
especially when you around a group of guys that
legends,
they relate to you, and legends, they relate to you. They come from a place you come from. You follow what I'm saying? They understand. They not in character. Like you see what I'm saying? We ain't always got to be in character. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our guards are down. We talking. We having a good time. We don't normally do this. We normally, like you just said, with the family. So
Yeah, there's just, us as a community of MCs, man. There's a
Yeah,
lot of camaraderie and love, and I'm
yeah.
just happy to be a part of, this culture, something that I didn't think I would be a part of. When you're just watching it from the sidelines, hoping to get in, and then wow, it's like, wow, I'm actually in this thing, and I'm doing this the way it's supposed to be done, and my peers and my OGs have that love for me, so I'm just grateful.
You said, "Wow, I can't believe I'm actually in this culture." Was it ever a time in Mickey's career where he was like, "I'm probably through with this shit"? Like you know what I'm saying? Was there ever a time when you was just like, and then if so, how did you get through that? How did you bust through that wall, like that wall of ah f the game, f this, f that? Like how did you break through?
Yeah, I quit making music in 2013. At the end of 2013, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. This is too much. And it was really a tough time to kind of deal with that, right? Like, when I look back at it, was like December like 17th, I announced I was retiring from hip hop. And it was only like I had only been in the game for like 6 years, and I tried to get a job and I couldn't get a job. I had no work experience, so I had to climb back and fight for my respect. And I think this second half of my career has been the best portion of my career. Even though the first half was where people got to know who I was, but this this time era is the best for me currently.
Hmm. That's hella dope. Like I was talking to I had an interview with Fable and he was kind of saying the same thing where he was like, cause they was marginalizing him. You know what type of music so they was marginalizing him. All of his homies was leaving. The loss of Shorty Low. And then he said he somewhere just got a resurgence and he kind of, said the same thing that, the second half of his life was like, okay, now I'm doing it for me. Like it now Mickey doing it for him, and now it's a greater purpose. So that's hella dope that you were able to, jump over that hurdle.
Absolutely, man. It takes a lot, but as men, we persevere.
Absolutely, man. Not just an artist, but you use your voice to help raise awareness as it relates to politics as well. How did you and Aaron Combs and Daniela and Ben, band together to mobilize voters for the Democratic Party in Georgia early this year?
Yeah, I mean, moving to Atlanta was a big thing for me and my family. And when we realized that there was this like war going on between um, the Democrats and the
Yeah,
Republican
yeah.
voters, and people stealing votes way back in the days, I felt like I had to use my voice to try to make you know of my voice count, right?
Mhm.
Because it was necessary for the Georgians down here, and black people who reside here in Atlanta. And I feel like my voice definitely did matter. That record serviced and it got to Stacey Abrams and they pushed it, and wanted to make sure that it got heard, and it got heard, and I was just happy to be a part of that, right? Like just using your voice in hip hop to make things the way they're supposed to be.
Like and coming from where we come from, right? Our surroundings, you could have easily been the typical, like the typical boastful, Beamer Benz, Bentley Jews, like look at me, like this, that, and the third. You could have easily still lyrical, but you could have easily just was like, you know what? I'm a commercial it on out. Let me and this is no. Let me put on the shiny suit. Like you follow what I'm saying? You could have easily.
Right.
What gave you the conscious effort to say, nah, my pen is my sword. This what I'm doing. What
Legacy.
made you say, let me go to this lane instead of going to that lane? Red pill or blue pill?
This legacy, man. I feel like when my son gets older and he goes through my catalog and he listens to all of these incredible, impactful records, I think he's gonna realize that his father was a man who cared about the people, who cared about honor, politics, finance, and just being the best MC that he could be, and not selling himself short by following what the norms are in hip hop.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm glad that I was able to do this for him.
Absolutely, man. You put out the classic projects from the Why and Why Not series to Y3, my personal favorite, 740 Park Avenue,
Yeah.
and the list goes on, bro. What would you say is your most personal project to you, like the one that hit home to Mickey?
Um, I would probably have to say it would be Warp Collages.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that came out last year. Warp Collages.
yeah, yeah,
That was a pandemic album. You know what I mean? That album and Hugh. Those two albums, which is a dedication to my son for Black Fathers.
okay,
Those two albums are my most personal albums. And I did those with the intention of, like we were speaking about before, not following the flashiness and just keeping the lyricism alive and making sure people understood what it was that I was trying to do.
yeah, and breaking that chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
we breaking that chain is what we strive to be, man. It's like what legacy are we gonna leave? So I understand exactly where you're coming from. I got three daughters myself, so it's all about leaving a legacy.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You've been sort of like the industry for a long time. Is it still fun for you, Mickey? Like do you still get that fire? Do you still, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, every day it's like, yo, man, what can I conquer today? Who am I talking
Okay.
to today?
Okay.
Who help with a record today? What kind of concept I'm gonna come up with today? So it's a blessing to be a part of this, man. Nothing is linear, which I enjoy. I can move around the way I want to, and the industry allows me to do that.
Yeah. Right now at this stage in the game, major or indie at this stage in the game? Major 50-50 or indie?
I would take indie with a budget. If I could do indie with a budget, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Majors is good. They put you in front of a lot of people. They got the money to do it. But I enjoy this indie grind where I could put anything out whenever I want to. There's no channels that I have to go through to make sure something comes out. I do everything how I want to, and I enjoy it. So I would say indie.
All right, Andy, all the way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go. Just create your own and just have your own vision. Like sometimes your vision is your vision. Like y'all can help me, y'all can back me because y'all can put me in the places in the spots that I need to be. But my vision is my vision. I don't
Right.
need you. I don't need your help with the cover. I don't need your help with on who my producer's about to be. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got the ear. Like, you know what I mean? And speaking of that, because you've been credited as a writer, like how did you like? Because it might be some guys out there that just they don't want to be in front of the camera. They just want to pen
Right.
for some people. They just want to write songs. Like explain like how a person would even get in those rooms or get in those conversations to where they write music and receiving royalty checks from.
Well, you got to be around the right people and constantly network and create your own sound with a producer. That's how you do it. That's it's the simplest thing to do. Make your own sound with a producer and then shop that stuff and play it for different people and network. In your city or go to Atlanta or New York or Miami or LA and just grind. Talk to people and play people's stuff so that they can see your talent. That's the only way to do it.
Absolutely, man. Jules right there, Jules, bro. Because like I say, it's a lot of guys that watch my podcast and even when I throw clips out there that when they see this, they might be stuck. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the artist. I ain't got to be in front of the camera. Like, it's a lot of guys that's out there like that. I got a guy right now, Ace Tuck. Like, he teetering. He like maybe I be an artist, maybe, and his pen game is cold to where I know he can send songs out to labels and be that, but they don't know how to get in front of these faces.
Right, right, right.
And like you say, the major thing is networking.
Networking, you got to network, man. That's the best way to do it. Anytime there's an event going on in your city that's dealing with the industry, you should pull up because you never
Mhm.
know.
Dope, man. Dope. When you recording a project, aside from just picking the beat, how much are you involved in the production of the album? Like, do you actually get hands on with the production? Aside from writing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm hands on with the production, with the drops, adding certain things into the beats, taking certain things out. I'm involved with the mix. I try to make sure everything sounds linear and sounds clean and good. I'm very much so involved. It's a very taxing and draining process.
Are you
But
that much of a perfectionist to where let's say you do the song, right? You didn't drop, mix, you done did all that, but because you didn't say this word like how you wanted to, yo, I gotta go back in. Let's revisit that a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
sometimes, yeah, sometimes I can be
Yeah,
like that sometimes. But if it depends on what the situation is.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I feel you. Because sometimes recreating that vibe that I created, I might can get away with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because
Right.
I slurred a little bit, but that vibe was different. I can't recreate that vibe again. We might need to just go and drop that one.
And that happens that way sometimes. It goes that way sometimes.
Yeah. Is
That
is there much of a push pull for you between what you feel driven to put out and what you feel will be commercially successful?
um that's a great question. It's different. Like I feel like people just kind of want to see. Did you see what I just did?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Around, I haven't been on Skype in a long time. Um, I don't think there's a big push. I don't think there's a big push. I think people just enjoy what I do, and they're very, uh, they're very excited and enthusiastic about all the kind of projects that I want to do. I have a lot of passion projects that I really, really, really want to complete and get done. And I think people are just so enamored by these projects that I want to put together. And I want to have this diverse catalog of doing all kind of hip hop and music. So it should be interesting to see what happens. But for the most part, I don't think I think back in the days, people were like, man, I thought Mickey was going to be this guy that was going to be, like where Drake is or whatever. But, things happen, and I'm just happy being where I am today.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, and you still an innovator in your own right. You still a legend in your own right, like an influence in your own right. So, like, for F being another Drake, like when we got a Mickey Factz already, you feel me?
I agree. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, bro.
Absolutely. Will you do another like leak type series where you release a track a week? We hungry.
Um,
We hungry. I'll just get straight to it.
every every year, every year I think about doing Mayhem over. For those that don't know, Mayhem was I was putting out a song every day in the month of May. I called it Mayhem. You know what I'm saying? Um, as far as like dropping a song a week, I try to send music to my Patreon followers. Follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/Mickey Factz. They pay, as little as $2, $3 a month, and I try to get them, at least 5 songs a month. I actually need to send them some music today. I'm gonna send them like 4 records today, just because it's been some time since they've gotten some music. But for the most part, yeah, man, I don't think I'm gonna do a leak series again. If I do another series, it's gonna be Mayhem.
Okay, all right. Look out for that. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting right in the wings for it. You've been on Mick. You've been on countless tours. You know what I'm saying? You've rocked many stages, shows. What's some of the craziest moments that you may have come across or that you may have seen, like throughout your lineage of touring?
Um, and touring is one of the great.
And nobody jump on stage, take this like what's some of
Uh, man.
the
I mean, I made a girl faint at UCLA. There was this fan that I was performing, and this girl, she just was staring, and then she just passed out, fainted, and we had
yeah.
to go. And ambulance drove in, and it was a whole big thing.
Have you ever been in a position where like cause I be like so I'm an MC myself, right?
Right.
But I've never had the blessing of being able to be in a position to where like guys like you have, or like real MCs that's touching stages and doing these things, right?
Right.
Have you ever been in a position where saw something and you was like, "Yo, I could have got me too in that position, or I could have been in some real heat for that."
Oh, nah. We don't play those games, man. Those it's one of those scenarios where I try my best to, even before I was married, it was something that Steve Martin, the comedian, said that I
Mm-hmm.
that I always kind of live by. I never tried to have one night stands on the road.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very firm believer in, if there's a woman that interests you, you kind of just be cool with her the first time, and then when you spin the block, then it's love. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If y'all choose to go that route, y'all could go that route because you already built the rapport of communication and talking. So I never was one of those guys that was trying to have a one night stand on the road. Um, I was always trying to show love to the female artists,
Yeah.
female,
Yeah.
like, and if they were in that mood, then we would have a conversation about it. But I would never like try to force myself. You know,
You wasn't all right. Show done. All right,
yeah,
you sending somebody out to go pick them. Like you hear the story.
hey,
You
man.
sending homie like, all right,
Nah,
yeah.
it never was me.
That's respect, man. That's respect, man. And I'm pretty sure you got a lot of people to respect you for that. You got a lot of, even like you said, you married now, but even before then, I'm sure you get a lot of respect in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the reasons why I did Love, Lust, Lost. That series. I love my female fan base, even if it is a small fan base. It used to be much, much bigger until I got married. Uh, but I have a lot of love for the female side of my support system, because I appreciate Black women and all women. You know what I'm saying? So I never really jumped out the window when it comes to stuff like that.
When you finally hang your jersey up, bro, what do you hope people take the most or remember the most about Mickey Factz?
That he was trying to inspire people with Black art, Black finance, Black love, Black culture, Black fashion. He was doing his best to touch all degrees of anything Black, and he was an intellectual man. He cared about the culture, but he also did everything. He spray painted. He did a little DJing, he did some ambassador work, and he even stepped in the battle world. So like, I tried to do everything, and I think when people look back at my career, they're gonna be like, yo, he really did do a lot. He might have not sold a lot of records like other artists, but he still maintained a vast career with a lot of respect from his peers.
Absolutely, man. And do you plan on like, cause I know you was early on with a lot of like the fashion sense, like early, like you know what I'm saying, like how we dress now. You was early on with it, like you know what I'm saying. Cause like I say, I do my homework research, and I've been a follower, supporter of yours.
Thank you.
Are you jumping back into fashion with your own line, or maybe some pieces?
Um, I started to reach out to a designer to kind of graphic designer to kind of put some stuff together for merch, but not really a lot of stuff into like fashion. Like I leave that to the people who do that.
Okay, okay.
I can't just get into.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mickey Factz, again, bro, I appreciate you for taking the time out to ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Like me and the homies, just like I say, I got a camaraderie of my guys that we sit around and we barbershop talk about, yo, yeah, but did you hear how he did this and how his ins and outs and his entendres and this and that and the third? No, but what? So we barbershop talk all day long. So to have you on the show, man, is just big for me.
Oh man, thank you very much for having me on the show. Shout out to you and your guys. Keep up that barbershop talk, because I'm trying to always be in that conversation. Much love to those brothers, and much love to you for having me on your platform. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of your platform, because this is the culture, man, and everybody does what they are supposed to do to enhance the culture, and what you're doing is enhancing it. And I'm just happy and blessed to be a part of that legacy.
Well, the narrative coming out. Go pre-order that right now. Go pre-order that if you haven't. Please go pre-order that right now.
Go get it. $7, man. Go pick that up. It's a lot of love. Thank you so much, A1. I appreciate you, man.
Salute.